Bringing in the Monday afternoon bell on the Bitcoin market today with some bullish activity. Are we going to get some tradable volatility today? And has any movement over the weekend affected our macro perspective? Meanwhile, regulation continues to pour in, short-sighted, I might say, on cryptocurrency, following on the heels of accidents that major financial institutions have made. All of this and more on today's exciting episode of Breaking Bitcoin.
Hello everyone, my name is Silvio Micali. I'm the founder of ALGO and I'm proud and happy to be here with this edition of Breaking Bitcoin.
Welcome back to another exciting episode of Breaking Bitcoin. I'm your host, Justin Wise, lead analyst and co-founder at crackingcryptocurrency.com. Today is Monday, December the 16th, 2019. Valley year of our Lord. Hopefully you guys are doing absolutely fantastic wherever you happen to be tuning in from around the world, whether you're watching us on YouTube, Twitch, DLIVE, Facebook Live, or on Roku with the Investor News Channel app. We've got a fantastic show for you guys today. Before we begin, if you guys would like to begin your journey to consistently profitable trading, make sure to check out what we do in the group at premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com. We've got such a fantastic show for you guys today. I don't even know where to start. Hopefully you guys had an absolutely fantastic weekend. Hopefully you were able to spend time with your family. Hopefully you guys got all your presents wrapped. For those of you who are celebrating Christmas, as I've said, it's a very stressful time of year. Often it can be. And it's important for us as traders or as generally human beings who would like to have their lives in order and not be stressed out all the time to know and understand that it's okay, guys. We're going to get through it. Another December, another January, another New Year's, and back into the grind of life, right? But definitely take time as we move into the New Year's this year. It's a great time as a trader to really turn over new leaves. I mean, many of the people watching the show have learned a lot, have grown a lot, have changed a lot, have learned new perspectives on trading, and really, I think had a lot of come to Jesus moments for a lot of viewers. You know, obviously with the conversations that I've had with people who have said that, you know, looking at logging all their trades, looking at journaling all their trades, looking at their risk management system as the core and heart of their strategy. You know, all of these things are very life-changing when you begin adopting them in your own personal trading. And I recommend that you guys use this opportunity as we move into 2020 to make those personal changes, to make those convictions, to make those covenants with yourself so that you can boost your own profitability and your own results in the market. All right, guys. So let's see here. Oh yeah, huge update to the Discord. Make sure you guys go check it out. Discord.crackingcryptocurrency.com. We made a lot of changes and some server upgrades as well to make our server even better for anybody who wants to utilize it. There is a new verification channel. The first time you join our channel, you will have to answer a simple generated question from our bot. Answering that question will give you access and verify that you are human. You know, we thought about using turnkey solutions like, services that are offered like we see a lot of Discords do, but we have the brain power and the manpower to make our own solution that is unique and independent to us and made just for our community members. So we did that for you guys. And it makes the server better. It makes it cleaner. It makes it easier for us as administrators as well. And for all the staff as well to help out who they need to help out. If you are a member of the server and you will need to re-verify, you need to go through the process. It just takes a second. If anybody has any issues, you can, of course, leave a comment here on YouTube, or more easily, since it's Discord specific, it's a Discord specific issue, just DM an admin who you should be able to see at any point in time and let them know what the issue is, or DM one of our bots and the bots will take care of it. Well, they'll tell us to take care of it. That's how it works. Anyways, moving right along, guys. Okay. I want to thank Friday's actually, crypto comment giveaway winner, Wendy. Or Rickie Thompson. I think it was Rickie Thompson. Sorry, yeah. Looking at the sheet, it was Rickie Thompson. I know I promised that the Silvio Micali Algorand interview would be out over the weekend. I will do my absolute best to get it out tonight. We're doing a lot of projects right now, and the change that I needed to get made to the video just did not get changed. Make sure, if you guys want to support what we're doing, make sure to go check out the podcast at breakingbitcoin.money. You can catch it on Spotify, Google Play Music, Google Podcasts, Podbean, literally anywhere that you could possibly think. I think it's even on Pinterest and Tumblr. And I don't even know, I didn't even know that they hosted podcasts, but apparently it's on there. I'm just kidding. But yeah, if you guys leave us a 5-star review, it really does help us get the name out there. So we appreciate the help, guys. With that being said, let's go give away some crypto to today's crypto comment winner. We're going to see who got the closest guess to... I'm going to make a quick change here so that I don't have to listen to that all stream long. Boom. We're going to give away some crypto to whoever had the closest guess, if people were paying attention. So without further ado, let's go give away some crypto, my friends. Okay. Let's make sure we get the right video over here. All right, you go chill coming in. All right, so we got Rickie Thompson. We got 3 guesses. All right, so let's go see. As we do BTC USD on Coinbase on the 1-minute chart. And Bitcoin's price did open up at $70.95. 71.12. 70.60. That does make Rickie Thompson the closest winner. That was so close. So close. In the single digits. But Rickie Thompson does bring that one home for the home team. Very close, Mr. Ego Chill. Very close. Thank you guys for participating. Rickie T, hit me in the Discord, my friend, and I will tip you some crypto. All right. Into the live scene here. Let me know how you guys are doing in the live chat. Let's do the shout outs. Morning ceremony. Good to see you guys. Saintsy, Book Chewy, I've never seen you before. But welcome to the show, my friend. Ron Legato, Hugo Chill, Brian B, Mr. Hut QC. It's hard. All right, we got Jurgen Ernst in the house. MT Coiner, Jap, Mass Stash, Challenged Investor. Dark Rico. Eli back, my man. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. He says, hope you're enjoying your day, Justin. Please take a look at ENJIN BTC. It is looking bullish on the daily and is currently pumping. Well, because you're in it, man. Every time you buy something, it just goes to the moon. I'm about to offer you a job or something, bro. All right, let's add ENJIN to the request, brother, and I will make sure to get to that. Thank you so much for the support, my friend. Hopefully you're doing fantastic. Hopefully you had a great weekend as well. All right. ENJIN. For some reason that default breakout. All right. Did I miss anything else? Rickie T over on DLIVE, my friend. Spooky Crane. Thoughts on XRP? Good to trade, bad to hold. Let's see here. Forza World TV. Good to see you, my friend. Crypto Jack. All right. I feel you, Hugo. Trying to make this very, very difficult to make it extremely like. We got to really sit down and proceduralize the process. When we get over, let's say over 25 people competing, we will proceduralize the process. Anyways, hopefully you guys had a good weekend. Let's jump into today's technical analysis on Bitcoin. Overall, largely over the weekend, I did not notice anything that really gave me pause. We were really not active on BTC USD over the weekend. For the most part, we didn't establish new positions over the weekend. We had just kept open the trades that were good. Of all the trades that we had on, one trade we didn't end up closing due to baseline closure, closed below the baseline. That's our early exit system. Other than that, every trade that we held open for the most part Actually, no, excuse me. Let me use the correct word so you guys are on the same page with me. All the trades that we had open, with the exception of one, which was Dash, remained open because all of our trades were in profit, had already hit TP1, or had already reached a level where we had a trailing stop loss on or something of that nature. So there was no reason. All of our trades are in no loss situations, with the one exception of our hedge trade, which is not really a trade, but that's what's keeping us secure in our USD value right now, as Bitcoin trades to this area. So overall, for us, as far as trading goes, a fairly easy, calm weekend, giving our community members a lot of opportunity to just focus on their strategy building or to focus on their lower time frame trading if they were trading with that sort of volatility or looking at those sort of time frames. Also gave us as a team the opportunity to really work on the projects that we're working on, i.e. what we're currently working on right now is programmatic stuff with how our trades and signals are beamed into Discord, improving that method so that we can get that ready. Also, this is kind of a framework for automation in the future. So really excited to work on that over the weekend. Spent some time with my kids. It was good. It was a good weekend. And I hope you guys had a good and pleasant one as well. All right. But we're back here on Monday, and it's time to make some money, guys. Who's with me? Who's ready to make some money this week? Yeah, you guys? Yeah, good. All right, cool. Let's close out a good. Overall, the month of December is looking okay for us. Not up dramatically, in profit overall for the month, USD adjusted, down a little bit on BTC, as far as BTC trades go, down, down in raw sat value on the alt BTC trades that I've chosen to take. The USD trades that I've chosen to take have largely been successful this month. So if I look at USD adjusted results, especially with my hedge on or the shorts that I've taken, overall in profit USD for the month, down a little bit in sats. So overall, pretty good month. Nothing, again, hasn't been a very dramatic month for us so far, really. We're really looking for the next trend. And I think a lot of traders are struggling with the ability to do that, kind of in this range, right? They're trying to force a square peg into a round hole. They are trying to force a strategy that is not designed particularly, possibly, for this type of market structure or this type of chop ranging behavior, because they're trying to institute trend following behaviors on lower time frames on ranging markets, which they should not be doing. And I think that largely the traders in our group, the traders that I've educated, understand that this is a range where you're either playing reversion to the mean or you're just kind of sitting on your hands and you're looking for your opportunities elsewhere. And because of that, they're experiencing ideally good success, the ones who are following the rules. But let's be a little bit more specific about this. So let's start off on the daily as we are wont to do. Close that. Let's get rid of our EMAs and just pull up our baseline for right now. So again, what has Bitcoin done on the daily for the last, basically like forever, for the last week or so, but whatever. Here we are on the daily, on the Bitcoin, on the Coinbase chart. And ever since, let's see here, right here, this would have been December 8th, the open of December 8th. So really the December 8th. Ever since December 8th, the evening, we've been below the baseline and trending to the downside. And again, we did not get a PTP short signal from this, not indicating a trend. Volatility was too low. But one could have put on potentially a 1 or 2 conf short on this on the very next candle, or hedged up, i.e. because we were below the baseline. So obviously a good maneuver right there. Obviously, we put on our hedge short discretionarily in this range because of the monthly signal and the weekly as well. But looking at what we got over the weekend, this candle obviously opened up last night, and this candle opened up the night prior to that. So what did we get? We got a reversal baseline bounce again. A reversal baseline bounce again, guys. You guys are ignoring these trade setups at your own peril, because here we have a reversal baseline bounce on the 12th. And what did that lead to? A re-entry into a short. That's a continuation signal. Bam, led to that trade. And then a reversal baseline bounce here. Bam, led to that trade. So I know a lot of people got pretty excited. I heard a lot of activity in the group over this candle in particular, and this candle, this movement right here. But again, overall, nothing really major to talk about. Nothing really major to talk about. Just Bitcoin grinding itself down, punishing those who attempted to short the bottom, and then just returning and just currently absolutely chopping on very low volatility. So just to be expected, So nothing here dramatically insane. Looking at the daily, we still do not yet, and that's absolutely fine, still do not have a verified signal to trade in any direction. What is interesting here, and I talked about this on Friday for you guys, I talked about the fact that we were getting a rising explosion level. What that means is that the Bollinger Bands are separating, and that is an indication that volatility is expanding. We have had a period of contraction, meaning that the range that price moves in is getting smaller. And as that range expands, as price gets more volatile, we will be moving and leading into a larger movement, a larger sustained movement, most likely, moving as we eventually break out of this range. And that, again, what the rising explosion level means is that should be occurring or might even be occurring now. It just hasn't triggered a trade for our system yet. Because what happens is, just imagine it as a spring. When you compress a spring, that is volatility compressing, volatility tightening, range tightening, price traveling in a smaller and smaller range. And when you let go of that spring, and the way that happens in the order book is somebody comes in and makes a very large market buy or market sell, or a series of market buys or market sells. And the whole market has been primed for this for such a while that, we talked about this on Friday. That moment of max pain that we talked about, for those of you guys who were here on Friday? On Friday, we talked about the feeling that you can have if you have a trade and you have a soft stop loss, or maybe you're just more of a novice trader. This often happens to novice traders. So those of you who are more experienced will understand or remember this. And those of you who are beginners probably feel this way right now in a trade. So you'll put on a trade and it will go against you. And you will think to yourself, I'll just hold it open. It'll come back, right? That's usually your first thought. And then it keeps going against you. And you're like, oh my God. I should probably set a stop loss. And then you set a stop loss and it keeps going. And then you the next stage is kind of like, it's getting really close to my stop loss. I better just move that up a little bit. I bet it's just going to come up and then come right back down. I don't want to get stopped out, right? And then it just keeps going closer and closer to that now moved stop loss. And you're like, oh no, my God, it's going to keep running forever. I better even get long. And you close your trade out and maybe even go long. If you were short, we're talking about short here. And then price immediately plummets, right? And we talked about that being the case, not just for you. This is why you hear so many people make this comment, like, they're hunting my stop loss. They always know. The market always turns when I get out of the trade. Always have. It's just to me. It's not just to you if that's happening to you. It's happening to a large majority of people at the same time. Because for some reason, remember, the market moves based off human psychology and algorithms. And that element of human psychology, to me, I've noticed, because this scenario that I've explained is true, and I know it rings in the hearts of many of you who are hearing me say it, because I know it was true of me when I was a novice trader as well. And what that means is that somehow human beings who are trading the market tend to have the same threshold of pain, and that human beings tend to put on positions in the same area, right? Amateurs tend to put on positions at or around median price, right? They think they're prepping for a breakout, and they do not have the strategy or the courage to buy on a red candle or sell on a green candle, right? They don't have the courage to do that yet. And you don't have to develop that. Your strategy doesn't have to have you doing that. But just remember, this is why in PTP, we enter at the median price often. But the way that we structure our stop loss, we're okay with price moving around a little bit, right? We're okay with drawdown. We have a strong conviction and the back testing results to prove it that more often than not, price will move in our favor and we'll have profitable trades. We just need to be patient. But novice traders will often, again, put on trades around median range of price, and they will not deal well when price begins moving to the extreme against them, right? So if you imagine price moving in a range, it generally has a low extreme and a high extreme, right, of where it's going to face rejection. It's very rare that price actually breaks out and trends. And when price trends, it just keeps going in a single direction on high momentum, generally. So if we think about that, right? So that moment of max pain is about the same for all novice traders, which is a large majority of the market, unfortunately. Not a large majority of what moves the market, but a large majority of capital sloshing around is just retail money. And savvier traders eventually learn to come in and take advantage of that. That's just how the game works. That trading is a zero-sum game. So it's not you. The market's not hunting your stop loss. It's just that you are trading with the same mentality and psychology of the grand majority of other inexperienced or novice traders. And so your max moment of pain, your max point of pain is roughly the same as theirs. So it's around that range, the price that you generally exit your position, and people start exiting their position in mass. And that's when savvier traders or institutional order flow grabs your liquidity, and then price moves in their direction, because that's how it works. That's how it works. And you want to be on that side of the market. So if you're entering into a trade at median price on average, develop a strategy like ours, potentially come learn from us in our group or in our Discord, how we do things, or watch our videos, Trading Crypto 101s, or watch the stream, or just, study this a little bit, take this concept and run with it, right? And for those of you who are more experienced, obviously this is something that you've learned to overcome in your own way. And I'd be interested to know how you overcame that. If you want to leave a comment down below or let me know in the chat, I'd be pleased to hear that, because, overcoming the psychological barriers and difficulties of trading is always what inspires me and has prompted me to become a better trader and allowed me to become a better mentor and teacher throughout my years. So other than that, we do have another micro reversal baseline bounce that we got today. Price did wick up and is currently retracing. Let's actually go see, how did that actually go down in function? Yeah. Okay. So it did make its low previously. It made its low first, but it did rally up to test the baseline and has rejected from the baseline on the daily so far. So there was a profitable trade set up there. Again, if you're just scanning the daily. And one thing that I will do, that I am going to add to my Trello board for the baseline indicator, because this I have had this request before, I will add the multi-time frame feature to the baseline. Just be aware, I didn't add it for a reason, because when you use the security ticker ID function, it almost always, on every script I've written, makes the script say that it repaints when it does not. Because when you use the security ID ticker function, it can repaint. So lower time frame data, extrapolate. It's silly. I don't know why TradingView has made this decision, but essentially saying that if you're using the security ticker ID function, this data is not. You shouldn't trust this data on your chart because that candle hasn't closed yet. Well, no, duh, dude. Like, I understand that. I'm trying to look for a dynamic level in this case, so. You want to generally be careful of that, but in this case, when you're looking at a dynamic level and you just want to look at that same dynamic level on a lower time frame, it's going to be like, well, if you go to a set alert or anything, it'll say it repaints. Like, yes, it repaints in the way I want it to, because that line will move as the actual line moves in real time, because I'm trading real time. But just letting you guys be aware of that. But I will add that in. I do feel that the benefit versus the annoyance of dealing with TradingView's existing system is a juice worth the squeeze. Other than that, we do not have a full risk short setup on the daily, so I'm not going to be recommending that anybody just dive into a short. I am still hedged short. I still have a large short sell position open on Bitcoin. I likely will for quite a while. If price does close, now let's go and take a look at. Hold on. Let's keep it on PTP here for a second. Commodity channel index. Commodity channel index is below our dynamic zero level. It is bearish. We have had a signal to go short, but and that signal did come on this candle right here. You haven't had a lot of profit off of it yet on the daily. Minx is, of course, below the noise line, and that did occur on December 9th. So you could have gotten short. You could have taken a 2 confirmation short over here with lower risk. You had your first reentry opportunity on the 12th. Reversal baseline bounce entry. You had a secondary entry continuation short here yesterday, and then just one today this morning, just a few hours ago. Shorts all the way, not looking for longs. And again, I just want you guys to understand this, and this is very critical, guys. You need to understand how I trade, because I've gotten this snarky comment from people who don't understand the way that I trade. I don't like to trade reversals, so I don't care if Bitcoin puts in a nice bullish candle from here. My style of trading is not, oh, I've now missed a trade. My style of trading is, okay, now I have a trading opportunity. So the reason I say this is not because I care what you guys think or say. The reason I say this is because I want to make sure that if you guys are making any kind of plans based around my analysis, which of course you should be filtering through your own analysis and just looking at this as education, which it is. And if you guys want more serious mentoring, come to the group. But this is an example of what you will get. This is how I view the charts. This is how I teach people to view the charts. But for specific trades, remember that if you're not in the group, you're not going to be getting updates. So you're here listening to me say something between 12 and 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then if I push an update at 6 p.m., you're not going to hear about it until tomorrow at noon. So just letting you guys know. That's why if you're just a live stream viewer, you need to have your own form of analysis to be able to help you out when the show isn't here. And to grow as a trader. And to grow as a trader. Come on, guys. What are we here for? We're here to grow as traders. We're here to grow as traders. Lost my train of thought there. Oh, so I have no conviction. I have no data here that tells me that Bitcoin will not experience some bullish upside from here. I have no data that suggests that. I have no data that does not suggest that. As I said, on the daily time frame, which is the time frame that I prefer to trade, there's no short setup, full risk short setup. There was a reentry opportunity today. If you missed it, no, you should not enter here because that is not the way it works. The entry was at the baseline. If you missed it, you wait for the next trade. Otherwise, what are you going to be doing right now? Entering at median price, okay? And if you are trying to enter at median price here because you missed a reversal baseline bounce, then there is a high probability that you will fall into the category of individual who has not learned his risk management yet and will have that max area of peak pain where you will have a losing trade. So I do not recommend entering here. I don't really recommend doing anything on the daily. There's nothing to do here on the daily. We'll go down and look at the lower time frames here in a second. On the monthly, how is the monthly chart cooking up and brewing as we speak? Still quite bearish, guys. We got the monthly sell signal on the close of yesterday's month. And that should have been your signal to get down and dirty. Down to 4,900, baby. Going to the weekly. Again, how did we close the weekly? Very ugly. The weekly gave us a weekly reversal baseline bounce setup. Beautiful reentry here, holding that short open, and you are in great profit. You're over 6% profit in a week, where most people are scrambling around the lower time frames and getting chopped up. So on the weekly, you could have held the trade open and be up 6% on your macro position or your meso position. This would be a macro position on BTC. Daily, no signal, not enough momentum. Getting some nice sell-off right here, obviously. Ooh, yeah, beautiful. We'll see. Unclear whether it will bounce or continue down. Doesn't look good, though. That's sexy. Yeah. Lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower lows, lower lows, lower lows, consolidation. And is this going to be the moment? We'll see. Let's keep it smooth. Let's keep it simple. On the 12-hour time frame, no full risk signal. Go down to the 8-hour. Yes, you could have taken the 8-hour short over here. Ooh, beautiful. Come on, baby. Sock it to me. Yes. Oh, if this keeps going, we're going to make a ton of money today, boys. Ooh, that was beautiful. Let's go down to the lower time frames and watch this baby in action. Oh, I'm so glad we could be here to watch this together, guys. I am so glad that we're here to watch this together. It was nice. All right, let's zoom out and get some perspective. Okay. Sorry, that glare really makes it hard to select things. Okay. Okay, huge low volume node. again, the first kind of area here, we've talked about this area before. First area is 6,400. Below 6,400, it's 4,900, guys. And that's, listen, I'm not saying we're breaking down from here. It's possible. Looks like it. That's why I'm very, very happy to have my position on. Been on for a while. It took patience to hold that position open. I held that short open the whole time the price moved up. Guys in the group know this. Held that short open all throughout this, right? So the monthly closed here. This is when I put the short on. I had to hold that through this. And I get to watch it. Oh, yes. Come on, baby. Show me what you can do. Yeah. Let's get this noise off there. Let's just watch price. No, we got a lot of news and stuff, but sorry guys, this is going down here. Yeah, this is not good for buyers yet. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, look at this. Yeah, look at the size of the red candles. I mean, that's a very simple price action concept right there. You know, look at the size of the green candles as opposed to where sellers are able to push price. Now we'll see. We'll see if it changes in the short term here. All right, so we did hit a low of a little bit below 68.60 on the Coinbase chart here. %1 movement off of that. Pretty swift buyback off the initial market orders that were executed. Those are stop orders being filled, filling limit orders to the buy side. And this is generally, I mean, 1 to 2%, depends on the movement. Every trader is different. Every algorithm is a little different. Nice Hash Logan says we should probably just hold Tether until the dip. You know, I do not recommend that. I learned that you actually just go out, learn how a derivative exchange works, and put on a short. Somebody bring popcorn? Oh, baby. That was sexy. Okay, so hold on. Let's see here. Hey, look at that. Double bottoms work. Okay, Jap says, is it going up or dumping? I don't know, buddy. Wendy says targets. I mean, the only thing we have is we can use that monthly ATR. That's what I've done from the beginning, which points us down to 4,900. You can use the weekly ATR, or you can use the daily for your continuation signals. Let's see here. Well, that would make it fairly simple. Let's see if we've already hit that. I believe we already have. And then we can project. Let's bring up Quadriga on the day. Actually, no, not Quadriga. We'll do baseline, and we'll use trade qualifier for short. And we can't see it. Okay. Well, what was ATR on the daily for yesterday's close? That's, I guess, the only thing that we can do. ATR would have been, let's say, 322. So P1 off the baseline would have been right about here, 38.78. That's where your target would have been for the daily reversal baseline bounce, 38.78. And you came. It just depends on where you got filled. You might have, I'm measuring from the top of the candle here, from the open. If you got filled somewhere on this wick, then yeah. Nice trade to the downside, guys. Congratulations for anybody who caught that, like LTF. I mean, I'm just positionally taking it slower and slower, but again, congrats to anybody who was able to jump in that too as well. Happy you guys were able to ride it with us. And here's the thing. I know that 90 of you guys are gonna ask, so I'm just gonna say it now. Because I'm just, again, this is why I made that comment earlier about the way that I trade. Is it going to bounce from here? Is this a stop loss hunt? Are we going to completely dump? Dude, I don't know, man. Nobody does. I've been trading for a very long time. Nobody has the answer to that question. You take statistically valid setups and you manage your risk. That's how you make money. You don't make money by having a crystal ball. I'm a trend following trader. So the trend turned bearish here when we closed below the baseline. Because of volatility. We didn't get full risk signal. Now, listen, if we close like this on the daily, we are getting, look at that, red column above a rising explosion level. Let's see what the daily looks like when we close. We might be able to take this baby to the downside. Daily targets, if we get the daily short close. First target, current price, first target's going to be around 6,500, 6,580. Changing quite a bit, obviously, because price is quite volatile, but that's where we're at. For Johnny says TP3. Jap says, thank you. Thanks, got you now. That's what happens when the missus gives you a shout for tea. So we're sold on the 5-minute chart, dude. You know what that means. $5,900 incoming. Hope. It says the chart's looking bullish. I mean, it depends on how it closes. And I mean the daily. Or long term. I mean, whack-a-noodle things can happen very, very quickly, but I mean, we just saw it, right? But if you don't have a very good strategy and you can't react very quickly, it's better to just take wider moves in Bitcoin. Like, I'll give you an example. If you're just like watching this and you're like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? The answer is always nothing. The answer is always nothing. I think that anybody who said, and it doesn't matter because listen, here's the thing. The people that buy right now, because they're like, this is price oversold, this is a stop loss hunt, price going to the moon. If price then goes up, people like that will tell you that you were silly for not buying when you should have. Okay? That's stupid. And if price goes down right now, the people who buy right now will never say anything, right? And they will play it off like they never bought here, right? And I'm speaking in generalities, right? The reality is only the strategy that you build is what matters, right? So if you have a strategy that has identified this as a buying opportunity, then go for it, dude. And if your strategy is telling you that this is a breakdown short, then go for it. Mr. Ether says, same thing happened for me after the EOS competition. Why can't it happen during... right after the Bitcoin competition. Right. So this is the anatomy of the dump so far, ladies and gentlemen. This is the 1 second chart. Look at that. Just like, give me some volatility. Sorry. Technical terms. Let's see here. Helm Flight says, what is the viewing window tool you are using showing the bars filling live? This is TradingView's platform. This is the 1 second chart. It's a very low time frame. Mr. Ether says, we seem to have lost the whale alert channels in Discord. I believe I need to fix them. We did make those updates. So let me shoot me a DM, bro, so I can log that somewhere, and I'll get to it, man. Thank you. Johnny finally gets to ride a big move during the show with my homies. Pour one out for you, my man. Okay. You know, hey, all right. A lot of excitement here. But I think that's a great time. Okay. All right. I've just gotten word that our junior analyst and Bitcoin weatherman, Midwest Attempts, is live on the scene at BitMEX. We're going live now to BitMEX. Junior analyst, Midwest Attempts. Midwest, can you hear me?
Hey Justin, I am live at the latest BitMEX liquidation area, and it is a sight to be seen around here. There are things going way over my head. People are angry. That guy over there, I believe his name was Reggie, just lost 13 Bitcoin, but I don't believe him. The fucker's wearing shorts. Don't you get near me, Reggie! Alright. But anyways, I mean, it's a crazy place down here. Everyone's saying that their stop losses were wrong, everyone's blaming the market, but I'm pretty sure they're all just a bunch of idiots out here. Back to you, Justin.
Thank you, Jason. Hey, be safe, man. Be safe. It looks crazy where you're at down there, man. It looks crazy. Trade safely. All right, that's a live update from BitMEX, ladies and gentlemen. Ever been so mad you started swinging a cactus around? Okay. Okay. Thank you, Ben. Rickie T says, this does not help. BNC liquid index, as it has not broken my trend line for over 5 years. Trend line at 68.80. Brave new coin, 71.12.19. Throw me a chart, brother. Jap says, should I wait to the closing to buy, or should I get this buy now? I know it's a daft question, but any help? You know, the overall answer is if you don't have the parameters of how to enter into a trade proceduralized, as in on a piece of paper that you always follow, this is how you always take trades, then you're not trading, brother, you're gambling. So, and I don't mean that to disparage you. That's just my personal opinion how I view trading. So I would recommend, I don't view this as a buying opportunity. That's not the way that I trade. It could be, and I could be wrong about that. And this is going to shoot up, and you know, everybody watching is going to be like, you should have told us to go long yesterday. Like, no, I told you how to not lose money. Okay. I just gave you my opinion as a trader. My macro opinion on Bitcoin is bearish, so I will not be looking for longs. Now, I will say this. The only good kind of bullish thing that we see here is this lower time frame order block, which we did. Well, excuse me, that's the take profit area. But this lower time frame order block, I know there's one right around here on the 4-hour chart. You know, this is a wick area, but we talked about this before. Generally, when you approach support or resistance, supply or demand on high momentum, like you just shoot down to it, you can often bounce off. And so if you just look at this candle in isolation, you could say, well, look how big that candle is. Like, clearly we're going to bounce off. But, you know, if you zoom out and you're like, oh, look how long it's taken us to get down here with multiple fake outs. This looks just like 2018 all over again, man. So we could grind, you know, we could reverse from here. We could range. We can grind this level out for like a couple months, just like we did right here, guys. Just like we did right here. But this looks just like this, just on a smaller time frame scale. And what do we see over here? This. What are we probably going to see over here? This. Okay. Now, it'd be beautiful if we did see a higher low. I'm expecting us to. Bullish for Bitcoin going into the later period of 2020, maybe 2021. Unless or until something dramatically changes in current price. But if you want to buy the area, man, set a stop loss and just do it. I'm not going to tell you not to do it, brother. Come on, Corn. Jacob says longs rising, WTF. That does not surprise me. Let's go take a gander. People are angry. Okay, let's see here. All right, so my BCH. So for the Primo guys, I know that you guys might be thinking, might be wondering like, where are our trades? So BCH Z19 hit our break-even stop loss. So we had already taken half of our position off at TP1 for you guys. So we did just hit our break-even stop loss. So BCH Z19 is closed. Let's see here. Litecoin is OTM for us currently right now. We won't be making any decisions off of that. Let's take a gander here. The only thing that I need to make a decision on, not right now, but tonight, is going to be Mr. Neat. So basically wiped away our profits. We're still up on Neo. We'll make a decision on this later tonight. Let's see here. Zcash hit our trailing stop loss. So that's good. We were already 80% out of the position anyways, guys. So the last 20% that was left did hit our 8% TSL. EOS USD, obviously, we're full risk short on. So we're up over 11% on that. I believe we might have even smashed through. Yeah, fully smashed through all our TPs on that. So that trade's good to go. Done. Adam, we took half our position off, and that has hit our break-even stop loss. So yeah, that pretty much just closed out our trades in profit and pushed us into great profit on the EOS trade, which was a full risk trade. So congratulations, guys. Great day for the group. So you're Beefalo says, so you're saying there's a chance. Midwest says, caught this move in a 15-minute? Nice. Andrew says, I find it odd that bear or bull breaks occur right about the time multiple channels start to stream. It's as if sentiment bots react to sentiment from the populace. You know, I would actually honestly disagree with you on that. The reason why is because I've been doing this show for almost 2 years, and it's very rare that something happens on the stream, right? We picked the time slot for convenience for multiple time zones and my own personal schedule. But to be quite honest with you, man, in reality, it's rare that we get a big movement like that on stream. It's happened a few times. When we used to do weekend shows, we would get bigger movements on the weekend. They really wouldn't really amount to much. The movements, because weekend volatility is largely nonsense. Renko, Mr. Ether, of course, would have had you short from right about here, baby. Bringing it in. Bringing it in. Phil Son is stacking sats, my brother. Mr. Ether says, I know. I have been here for almost every boring show. Hopefully I make up for it, man. I do my best. Tony Clark says, someone market bought 5,000 Bitcoin. Jacob is enjoying his 50x short from 7130. Congratulations, man. Hold on. I read something there that was interesting. Somebody market bought 5,000 Bitcoin. Where'd they do that at, bro? Let me go to... let's look at Scalpex Index, coin meter, or crypto meter, and coin farm. All right, let's check out. People are angry. Sorry, I can't get that out of my head. BitMEX. XBTUSD. What do we got going on, baby? All right. 53% have been market sells over the last 24 hours. 10% increase in market orders. 21% increase in... 10% increase in market buys. 21% increase in market sells. Massive price swing, obviously. Okay, let's go look at large activity. And just rolling right in. Okay, so we had... let's see here, 1.5 million to the sell side, and we've had about very large individual orders, 2.6 plus 3.2, 5.8 million to the buy side. Fly Kataka, thank you so much for the subscription over there on YouTube, my friend. Daily. Reset Zoom. Live trade updates. Sellers still in firm control, guys, of order flow. Check out BitMEX Rect. Jesus, man. $47.7 million worth of longs wrecked in the last 24 hours. Moment of silence, guys. Moment of silence for our fallen brethren. BitMEX longs data must be incorrect, right? It's been sitting at 85% plus for over a month. That is highly possible. Let's take a gander. Here's a long to shorts ratio. I'll tell you what. Hey, them shorts came in there real quick, man. We had reached an absolute peak. Told everybody, man. I told you that long shorts ratio is too high, man. Last time, when we looked at this last week, it was down here at 4.9. It was like up here. It was like rising. It was like a 4.96. It was like right here. Remember when we looked at this last week? We had a breaking Bitcoin bits that just came out like a couple days ago. And, okay, a 26% larger than that. Just today, a 32%, almost 31% change in that today. Let's go see whether it was longs. No, wasn't longs, although there was. So there now are almost 3% less longs. What changed is that there was a 40% increase in shorts on BitMEX. Look at that. So it wasn't that longs were taken off. Shorts were put on. Okay, so let's see when. Okay, so we're going to overlay BTC USD price. Oh, what the hell? Compare. BTC USD price. I want to see if they're smart or not. Doesn't. Huh. That's funny. I'd say they're pretty smart. Okay, so all right, guys. So the blue line is the number of shorts on BitMEX, and the orange line is price, BTC price. So you could see a 40% increase in shorts go on, 54% increase in shorts, 54% overnight increase in shorts, and Dumpola. And funny enough, what the hell, dude? 13% of those closed their position? Like right here? So, okay, so I'm trying to script this out. I'm trying to script this out in my head, right? Like for market manipulation, right? So it's like, okay, guys, we're going to dump the market. All right, all of those in the know, you need to put your shorts on because we're going to come in and we're going to dump it in tomorrow afternoon. Okay, all right. And then what did it do? Like, they were like, okay, all right, we just told everybody that we're going to dump the market. You know what would be really funny? Let's call Ted. Like just a few minutes before the dump and tell him, hey, we changed our mind. We're going long. Let's totally do that. Fuck Ted. And this is Ted. This is Ted taking off his short. And then, ba-dum. I'm sorry, man. Life's like that sometimes. In the arms of the angels, B-Flow. Bitcoin Millionaire, good to see you, my friend. Guys, we are only 50 subscribers away from 7,000 subs here on YouTube. If you would like to help us out, we would highly appreciate that. When I was short, hoes didn't want me. But now I'm rich, and they all want me. They were probably just covering longs. That's fine. Organic, listen guys. Organic movements are fine. But a 60% increase in the amount of shorts on BitMEX, when we haven't seen that type of movement, here. Yeah. Do you see any other movement like that? Like, looks synonymous with that? Don says no. See it again over here. You got a 40% in one day and then a 20% the next day. Increase in shorts days before a big dump. No comments. Giveaway bot can fill that in seconds. Organic like my caged eggs. Yep. Yeah, buddy. All right, let's get back to I haven't looked at Bitcoin dominance in a while. Pretty healthy. What that means is that's been sick. Jonathan W. You got it, baby. All right, guys. Hey. Yeah, Ted's a dick anyways, man. Hey, so we're going to take a brief break, guys. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Make sure, listen, guys. All right. We got to do that. We got to do this right. Okay. Okay. All right. Got everything? Got everything, guys. Working on this. All right, guys. If you are looking for, I get questions about it all the time. If you guys are looking for a trading platform to use, utilize TradingView. I highly recommend you do that. Chart, it's fantastic, dude. TV.crackingcryptocurrency.com. If you guys would like to follow us on TradingView, check out our scripts. You can see the things we post. Highly recommend that. Now, when we return, we're going to do giveaways for the DLIVE viewers. I've already put the lemons in the chest. For those of you chatting on DLIVE, I'll throw you guys some cash. Let's see here. We're also going to do, I've got some great questions here. We're going to go over those as well. And we'll talk about Bitcoin. And we've got some news. Ooh, BMV. Be safe, man. Be safe. Be safe. Also, guys, if you want to support the show, if you enjoy what we're doing here, make sure to like, subscribe, follow, and engage in the live chat. That's what it's there for, guys. We'll see you guys. We're going to have a brief word from our friend, Midwest Attempts, one more time. And our friends over at ByBit. We'll be right back after the break, guys. There's a button here. What button? This button? This button. This is Jason when he first learned about Bitcoin margin trading on BitMEX.
Why? Why? Give it back! Give it back! Give it back!
This is Jason 6 months later after signing up for ByBit with the Cracking Cryptocurrency referral link found in the description below. Don't make the same mistake as Jason. Sign up today at bybit.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Hey guys, welcome back. We're back. We're here. Okay, guys. First, I got to find my mouse. He's like 15 monitors. All right, we're going to give away and distribute some lemons to our loyal followers on DLIVE, guys. Coming in hot. Boom. Congratulations to the lucky winners in advance. Adam, thank you so much for the subscription over there on YouTube. That leaves us 49 subs, guys. Help us cross that finish line and reach 7,000 subs. We've been doing the show for almost 2 years now. We highly appreciate the support. You guys have helped us grow, and we've grown with you. All right. Go, baby, go. Boom goes the dynamite. Mr. Ether, big winner. Wendy 2, Forza World TV. Congratulations, guys, and thank you for your continued support over there on DLive, my friends. Okay. Let's see. We got a lot. We got a lot to talk about. Knew I would get those lemons if you just held on. All right, guys. Now, obviously, checking in with Bitcoin here real quick. And we have a new range. 68.84, 69.25, about a $50 range. See, we got a fake to the downside. Another potential way to look at it is a break and a BPC, break pullback continuation trade. So we have also some great questions in the Q&A section. But first, Mr. Ether says, Ethereum led the dump and dumped harder. Yeah, Ethereum has moved with pronounced volatility relative to Bitcoin. So one would argue, again, if you are looking for more volatility, larger gains, but that's also higher risk, we have to remember, you would want to be trading the Ethereum for your risk positions and Bitcoin as your hedge, right? And we did exactly the same thing, except we used EOS instead, which lower liquidity, generally more pronounced movements. Because again, we got about 12% on EOS just now. Okay, now we do have some news that we got to cover, guys. Coming to us today from Cointelegraph. Now, I want to give you guys an update on this because... Okay. First story today coming to us from Cointelegraph. The headline being, major banks unknowingly process billions in crypto business, says CipherTrace. And according to a recent press release from the blockchain analysis firm CipherTrace, commercial banks in the United States are unknowingly processing payments for unregistered cryptocurrency businesses. And every one of the U.S.'s top 10 commercial banks is implicated in what CipherTrace estimates to be $2 billion in undetected cryptocurrency-related transfers every single year. So these unregistered cryptocurrency money service businesses, or MSBs, as they're known in the money service business, include entities such as crypto exchanges, according to the research, and banks, if you guys aren't aware, are required by law to identify any MSBs using their financial networks, as mandated by the United States Bank Secrecy Act, as well as the travel rules outlined by the Financial Action Task Force, the FATF, that have been so widely not contested, but so widely pointed to as a reason why why exchanges have been leaving the United States over 2019. Despite this requirement, CipherTrace claims that most commercial banks are ill-equipped to adequately identify crypto exchanges and other virtual asset service providers as MSBs. Now, to make matters worse, rules that have recently been revised by the Bank Secrecy Act and, of course, the Financial Action Task Force guidance that is coming in into effect for all G20 nations makes identification and compliance all the more critical for commercial banks for their risk, raising the question whether banks are at all ready to comply with revised regulations. Now, Carol House, who is a cybersecurity political specialist with FinCEN, was speaking at a cryptocurrency conference in November, and she made the following comments, quote, "It would be interesting to know how many financial institutions operating in this space are able to identify a crypto business recipient as a financial institution on the basis of its wallet reference number or other information that it currently has available to it." Obviously, the takeaway from that is most likely no. Now, CipherTrace, the blockchain analysis firm, is already cozying up to regulators and banks alike, and is launching a new, quote, crypto risk intelligence product designed to help banks reduce crypto-related risks on their payment rails. Let's see here. This is true. Now, back in April of this year, FinCEN did take its first enforcement action against an unregistered peer-to-peer cryptocurrency exchange for willfully violating money transmission laws. Now, while the cryptocurrency space may be hard for regulators to currently directly tame, it's where it intersects with the traditional finance world via off-ramps to fiat currency. The regulators have set their sights on for enforcement action. Firms like CipherTrace are trying to provide the intelligence tools to root out cryptocurrency users from banking networks, or at the very least, ensure that everyone involved is compliant with money transmission rules. Indeed, the cryptocurrency space does seem or appear to be falling in line, with FinCEN's director himself commenting in this same month that their May 2019 guidance is now having a discernible and positive impact on the industry. Of the most notable effect was the widespread delisting of privacy coins from various exchanges. Now, CipherTrace has recently argued that the new FATF regulations will rehaul how crypto businesses are required to operate by demanding that they track not only their own customers' transactions, but also where their customers are sending their funds. Definitely something you guys need to be aware of. You guys need to be aware of where regulation currently sits, of where the governments and regulatory bodies are moving in regards to cryptocurrency. And overall, I mean, a big takeaway I always focus on privacy and security. So big takeaway for privacy and security is be very, very, very aware of who you're doing business with, right? And what I mean by that is generally going to be an exchange. If you are holding your funds on an exchange, I would caution you to make sure that that exchange does not fall into this category. No. Short answer. Now, of course, this is going to be a controversial topic in our final story of the day that I want to touch on before we get into our Q&A section of the day, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to continue talking about regulation because this is a hotly debated topic in our space. And on one side, I mean, you have two sides. On one side, you have advocates for regulation, and they insist that it is good for the industry, that it's good that we have clear rules in place, that the way is paved for mainstream adoption for consumers and businesses alike. And on the other side of the debate, you have individuals that warn that legal regimes will only serve to stifle innovation and entrench the legacy financial system that we currently have, and the cryptocurrency was originally designed to get us away from. That the legacy financial system is determined to protect its monopoly on the issuance of money, and that it will leave digital currency at a permanent disadvantage to fiat if this regulation is allowed to stand. So a good example that we can look at is where the correct regulatory framework can boost the blockchain's industry and their ability to innovate and even thrive when playing by the rules. So Switzerland has been forming a reputation for being a crypto-friendly nation. A recent milestone came when two institutions focused on providing banking services for crypto clients were granted licenses by the Swiss Financial Markets Supervisory Authority. You guys think we have convoluted names in America. Now, Switzerland's positive attitude toward digital assets undoubtedly contributed to Facebook's decision to base their not-for-profit Libra Association in their nation. Now, industry data that we have now coming out of Switzerland indicates that the blockchain industry is now booming, thanks to the, quote, open for business, end quote, approach, with one report suggesting that the value of Switzerland's top 50 blockchain companies doubled to a collective $41 billion in the first half of 2019 alone. Now, that's a positive example of how crypto industries, businesses, and the space can thrive when playing by the rules in a nation state that is crypto positive, that has set very clear guidelines. On the other hand, let's look at now an example of an overzealous regulatory approach, throwing up roadblocks in the way of development and growth in the space. The United States, with its global hegemony over the legacy banking system, has been especially tough with its crypto regulation, slamming the brakes on Libra for fear that it would undermine the dollar and even threaten the world economy. The hegemony that America has over the world economy. But I repeat myself, even faced with warnings that obstructing innovation will only lead to other countries with conflicting political interests taking the technological lead. The US-China trade war is a great example of this, and China's approach in developing their CBDC in the European Union's diverging approach from the United States in being warm to digital bank central bank digital assets, digital currencies. U.S. regulators and politicians alike still remain standoffish at any prospects of legitimately exploring the potential benefits of this nascent technology in space. Now, you also have countries like India, for example, that have threatened to impose strict laws on those who deal in cryptocurrencies, with a hardline stance that includes potential punishments as severe as a 10-year jail sentence and businesses being effectively cut off from banking services. And this has resulted in exchanges folding up and even moving to other jurisdictions. There's also warnings that India could suffer a, quote, brain drain as talented developers and entrepreneurs take their skills elsewhere, potentially costing the economy billions as the industry booms elsewhere and talent flees to warmer waters. The same scenario could face other countries where meddling regulation only serves to drive talent and innovation elsewhere across the world. Now, given the pros and cons of regulation as it concerns cryptocurrency, will it ever be possible for this budding industry to coexist comfortably alongside the traditional financial market and traditional financial institutions? And given this fragmented landscape that we seem to be working with some countries embracing digital currencies and others shunning them, will this technology go global? One might ask themselves. Now, regulation could have huge ramifications for two of crypto's unique selling features: anonymity and censorship resistance. Bitcoin and other cryptos that have followed are intended to be a decentralized, fully divorced from the legacy financial system that the infrastructure of the legacy financial system that, as we know, lacks transparency and is responsible for economic booms and busts, such as what we saw in the 2008 financial crisis. Now, bringing crypto into the fold of the world economy, would eliminate some of the freedoms that made it so appealing in the first place, one could argue, and open it up to counterparty risk in many of the spaces that are trying to avoid it. So there's also the matter of regulating crypto and blockchain startups, fundraising through ICO means, for example. And of course, as we know, the ICO craze, penny stock booms, man. Because the narrative was that ICOs are changing the way, the ICO model is changing the way that investments are carried out, and they'll change the world for the rest of time. And for all their flaws, of course, ICOs have enabled users of all budgets to contribute to the projects that they're passionate about. And any regulations that deem these as securities could completely shut out an investor class that either doesn't necessarily understand the underpinning technology or are threatened by it, and will only serve to mothball innovation at odds with their existing business motifs. By resting the responsibility on investors, this means that fast-moving innovation can generate investment and come to the market sooner by not getting tangled up in regulation and reporting requirements. So we can see the positive benefits of the ICO model in this. It gives an individual, it gives the retail investor direct exposure to the project that they want to invest in. On the other hand, in regards to ICOs, many would argue that the introduction of stringent regulations has the opportunity to introduce some vital investor protections in an industry rife with fraud and irresponsible funding models, which we're no stranger to here in cryptocurrency. Regulation could also be the much needed seal of approval for institutions currently hesitating from injecting billions of dollars worth of capital into the industry. Regulation of the crypto startup space could also increase the quality of new projects and be a largely positive impact on the space. Then, we of course have to talk about the issue of crypto scams. The industry has been around for a decade now, yet incidents of crypto scams are continuing to happen, with some arguing that this serves as proof that our space needs regulation in order to boost its legitimacy. Now, of course, others like myself argue for personal responsibility and self-regulation as the solution, an opportunity for the industry to mature and create its own checks and balances by getting the community to police and educate itself, and that this approach will strengthen everyone involved rather than foster complacency among market participants. Now, with so many diverging opinions on these topics, and there's a lot of them, and so much uncertainty over where the crypto and blockchain industry will be and will fit in from a regulatory standpoint in the coming years, intelligence from prominent exchange executives, central banks, governing bodies, and investors can be invaluable when it comes to assessing the macro perspective going into the next decade. The Crypto Finance Conference being held in the Swiss resort of St. Moritz from January 15th to the 17th, 2020 is one up-and-coming event that aims to attempt to read the pulse of the industry's regulatory standing. Now, we are going to be following this conference, so stay tuned to our coverage of the event, as it's said to really set the mood for the industry going into the 2020s. And it's okay to not know the answers to these guys. It's okay to not have all the answers. I just want you guys to have these things on your radar and to form your opinions now and to do your own research before somebody tells you what to believe or you're forced to follow along with something that you may or may not believe. It's always better to be an educated, conscientious objector than an uneducated, reactionary objector. All right, so let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions. This is a complicated subject, and it would be arrogant of me to assume what is right or wrong about this topic. I, of course, have my opinions. I've talked about them before, but I try to bring the news to you as objectively as possible. Give you both sides of the story, both sides of the coin, unless we're talking about XRP. You get one coin. All right. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below if you're watching this later or in the live chat today. And now, I want to get into today's question and answer segment. So let's go check in with the Big Daddy Bitcoin. Right where we left it. I'll back up into the range. And let's check out what we got. All right, of course, Mr. Eli back. We will take a look at ENJIN for you. Of course, the market might be looking dramatically different from how it was just a moment ago, at the beginning of the show, when it was pamping. Start off on the daily. Eli, no longer pamping, brother. Okay. Man, I'll tell you what, this light is really messing with my eye. Okay. Well, here's the thing, man. We had a nice, beautiful movement to the upside, sell off back below the baseline, telling us not to be trading. You did close above the baseline on yesterday's daily close, or the open of the day's candle. But unfortunately, you had no other confirmation besides that. So this is not a trade that we would have taken. So as we can see, let's pull up Minx. Minx was below the zero line. Not only was Minx below the zero line, it was also below the noise line. So no trade there whatsoever. We also didn't go oversold on Minx. So I know some people take trades based off that. It's a setup that you can look at, but that didn't happen. Our CC Commodity Channel Index did not go above the dynamic zero level. So that was not a trade setup. And of course, we have a falling explosion level and a green column not printing above the explosion level. So this was not a trade that we would have taken. Not a trade that we would have taken, my friend. And that would have kept us out of this, largely out of this. In fact, to be quite honest with you, depending on how Minx closes, if we get a little bit of a rejection from here, this would be if we had the ability to short sell, right? ENJIN, this would be a shorting opportunity on ENJIN. It would be setting us up for another bearish trade setup. So I do not have a firm opinion on ENJIN based off of this. Let's go look at the, we'll look at its dollar equivalent, and we'll do a little bit of perspective TA here. Okay. So looking at our EMAs, consolidating and finding support on the tertiary baseline right here, and wicking support off the 55. So looking for bullish trade setups. I mean, this does represent a zone where one can be averaging into a position. Again, tertiary baseline being good, the 13 EMA acting as a good option as well. But for a long-term positional hold, again, areas where one can be looking to accumulate a continuation position on ENJIN from the macro perspective. Okay, on the daily, not a trade setup on our tradable time frames. On the weekly, or excuse me, on a higher perspective on the daily, again, one can be looking, especially at the area between the 21 and the 55, as a potential accumulation zone for long-term trades, and then exiting that, of course, if we get that closure below the 55, letting you know that your trade setup isn't validated. But yeah, I mean, it's very rare when we do reverse direction below the 55. So currently, overall macro price is relatively bullish. We can be looking for reversal baseline bounces. We can be looking for bullish trade setups. Of course, hitting price below 7 cents, that would reverse the trend, and we would not be looking for any bullish setups whatsoever. So let's see. Let this kind of consolidate out. And let's see if potentially, again, a great call if you got entries at the 55. Also opportunities at the tertiary baseline. Those would be the same zones moving forward as well. But no direct validating setup. Now, of course, if you're using the 13 EMA as your baseline, you do have a day trade setup with a reversal baseline bounce. But this is not actually a valid reversal baseline bounce. Because you did not get a regular long signal prior to closing back below the baseline. So this is not okay. This is not okay to go long on. And it wouldn't have been good to go long on yesterday either. Let's see here. It's Hard would like to take a look at ALGO. This is a trade that we just had, my friend. Actually going to go look at it on Binance. And let me double check. Yeah, okay. So sorry, ALGO. Oh, that was Adam. We did take ALGO. I could have sworn we took ALGO. I'm wrong. I'm sorry. We actually didn't end up taking the ALGO trade. Okay, so that's fine. Looking at ALGO. Let's get rid of our EMAs here. That was Cosmos, Adam. Looking at ALGO right here. We did, again, okay, so right here, you would have had a Wadatar explosion signal on this candle. You could have taken the trade. This was a PTP trade right here. And didn't turn into a trend, but did give us a beautiful wick to capture a profit on. That was the last Algorand trade. And it was a pretty good one. So that would have been a nice profitable setup. Got a long signal over here. No, excuse me. So that was not a regular PTP signal. We could have taken the No, that's nothing. We would have missed that one. On the daily, at least. We would have missed that on the daily. Caught the last one. This movement we were able to catch. This movement. And then this wick right here, but not this candle right here. You would have had to be holding algo or buying the lows. Right now, nothing. I mean, obviously all dollar pairs are dumping, so it's very hard to make subjective opinions about these, but this is not bullish. This is not bullish. This wasn't bullish. You can see we closed below the baseline. We got the full risk short signal over here. We're not anywhere near the oversold level on Minx. Commodity channel index is diving below. Water tower explosion has been negative, but not, I'm not trying to just analyze the dump of today. I'm looking at the dump over here. Reactionary buyback, not quite a reversal baseline bounce, and then a continuation and into the profit. If one would have taken the short at the closing price, you would actually be ITM right now in the money. So nothing bullish about Algorand, not on this chart, not on the daily. Nothing, no bullish trade set up here right now, my friend. Looking at our moving averages as well. Yeah, we can see we did come up to the 55 exponential moving average, and generally we can see that we did tap it twice, roughly in a range, and we did break above, but we are coming back. So although that's a little exciting, and I would have looked actually for a little bit more of a sustained movement from Algo, we didn't actually get that. So let's keep our eye closely on that 55 EMA around 27 cents, and see what price can look back, and see if we can get a nice trending trade with price closing back above that. Other than that, for those looking to buy the dip, again, this is kind of our accumulation range, and for right now, our tradable range. So you do have some consistent support. Right now, that lower value area is coming in right around 21.5 cents. It's also going to be right underneath our highest volume node right now. We are currently consolidating the point of control, so kind of the fair market price, the most volume traded at this price level. Lowest level of support currently all the way down at about 18.5 cents. With our little bit of overhead resistance currently right now coming in around 25, 26 cents. And then again, we're kind of talking about breakout status above that 27 cent area. So again, depending on how you're trying to trade algo, one could attempt to accumulate down here around the lows, 18.5 cents, potentially even at 22.5 cents, and then looking for the trending PTP breakouts above 27 cents, or when we close back above the baseline. All systems firing. Yeah. That is just the color of the sound panels. Cracking cryptocurrency in no way endorses the Panthers or any other NFL team. Please do your own research and support teams at your own risk. Thank you, Ben. We have another request from spookycrane on DLIVE. Thoughts on XRP? Let's go look at it. I mean, what do at some point, it gets really hard for me to kick somebody that's already down, right? And every time somebody asks me to look at XRP, I just keep feeling like I'm just kicking somebody's dog over and over and over. But long story short, man, this does not look great. In the scenario that this is like a double bottom, really this looks like an M pattern to me with a breakdown impulse. But in the event that it's a double bottom, again, you have to wait for confirmation. So you can buy the low bit if that's your strategy. That's fine. It's not mine in any way, shape, or form. But you really want to see price above 22 cents before looking for trending longs. Let's go look at where our baseline's coming at. And that's exactly where our baseline's at. Our baseline's sitting at 21.9 cents. So we need to be above there. In fact, we have a rising explosion level and a bearish candle above the explosion level. We have bearish confirmation from Minx. We are getting close to the oversold level, but this level of support on Minx is getting extremely weak as well. We've tested that multiple times. We're not quite to the oversold level, almost there. But again, acceleration. We are getting the continued bearish signal from commodity channel index as well. Yeah, everything here is super bearish, man. Now we would have gotten a three of four on the 13th for a short trade. 4 of 4 today. And if we get the bearish confirmation, we do get the breakdown. We are looking on the daily to break down all the way down to 19.7 cents. Yeah, the level of lighting in here is basically newsroom lighting to make the stream look pretty. I probably should use UV sunglasses. Ken D says 158 watching and 43 likes. Are y'all for real? I love you, man. It hurts my feelings too. Okay, that's all the questions that I saw submitted from the mods. Got about 20 minutes left in the show, guys. What I will do, since it's an exciting day, let's go back to BTC USD, of course. Sorry, on Coinbase. I have broken up from Bitstamp. I have broken up. Usman, thank you so much for the subscription over there on YouTube, my guys. 48 left to 7,000. Okay. Cogito picked an interesting time to check his portfolio. Holy Christ, Ethereum. And U.S. leverage trading is regulated, from what I can blank. That is correct. Eth1 says banks are starting to buy as many coins as they can buy hidden. They realize this is the future. I mean, I think that like many savvy investors, there are a lot of large financial institutions accumulating coins because they don't know what is going to be adopted. And I think as investors, that's a good idea as well. Jonathan W. has a question on taxes. He recently read that the IRS has a new form this season for you to declare your crypto. Do I only report on what I withdraw completely from the exchange or each buy and sell? Let me know. Each buy and sell. Each buy and sell. Each crypto to fiat interaction you need to report. Better get your hex coin. Ha ha ha. Ha ha, man. Yeah, get that hex coin. Helm Fight says, and again, no disparaging there, but I'm just not sold on it. Well, crap, too late. Lols. Hundreds of laws in every nation regarding Bitcoin. So next question would be, are these regulations beneficial to individual owners or the governments losing grasp on fiat? That is the question, my friend. Aditya responds with, if you want mass adoption, you need regulation. It is as simple as that. Many individuals agree with you. India is under an authoritarian rule till 2024. At least it will make anything that it can't monitor illegal, even encrypted messaging services. Eth1 says scams like Hex. I think Tony Clark blew a kiss, possibly. Tenacious V says regulation is not going to stop scammers. It won't stop all scammers, but it will help. What do I think of Hex? I don't think that Richard Hart is a scammer. I think that he will support the coin. I think it has a high probability to pump. But I think people should be aware of the privacy concerns of exposing their UTXO splits to the Ethereum blockchain for free claiming for their Bitcoin. And obviously just the general risks of sending Ethereum to the adoption amplifier. It's an ICO. It's an ICO, right? Because you're sending money in exchange for a token, the probability of pumping. It would be very, I mean, listen, I've heard a lot of arguments about security this, security that. I mean, that seems like that's it. You know what I'm saying? That's the E one for me. Crypto Caveman, good to see you, brother. I need Elton John sunglasses. I got. Hold on. I got Tron sunglasses. These are Tron sunglasses. I got them from Tron. Litecoin could be a leading indicator for Justin. Just could you compare the Litecoin to Bitcoin chart? Moving on higher volatility down. And I have talked about Litecoin. So Litecoin is my bullish pick. All right. Look at the Litecoin chart. Litecoin is my bullish pick. Okay. So I'm mostly short, right? Massively. I'm hedged short on all my Bitcoin. I took a full risk short on EOS. All my longs, I kept tight and kept them protected. So I didn't make as much money on my longs, but I didn't lose any money. I profited off all my longs. And Litecoin is my long pick. So I am long on Litecoin. Yes, I am long on Litecoin. I am trading a discretionary reversal positional trade on Litecoin. I have the patience and the discipline to hold this for quite a while. Litecoin, again, I won't let it go all the way down if it does decide. But again, the reasoning for this is very simple. This is a area of demand on the chart where we have descended to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 almost times, and put in 100 to 200% corrections to the upside or pumps, whatever you want to call it. So it's a good risk, a good trade. Justin sitting in his room getting radiation levels like Chernobyl liquidator. Does crypto trade like Forex? Are whales like Forex big banks? Yes. Great way to put it. On the charts, why is one candle a lighter green than the rest of them? That would have been a signal from one of the indicators. Hey, Monk, good to see you, man. Crazy day, man. RJ Jamal says, there goes any Christmas gains I hoped for. Are those the lows we were waiting on? I don't think so at all. Definitely willing to be wrong on that. I will wait for the trend to turn bullish, and then I'll take the bullish trade. I'm definitely not buying any wicks, gentlemen. Even though it wouldn't surprise me to see even reactionary before a movement down, a buyback. But we've already seen that. And often, very carefully. Any thoughts on VeChain after speaking about it the other day? It is now approaching its 200-day exponential moving average. Let's see here. I haven't looked at VeChain particularly since my last. Oh. Jesus. I mean, for real, the glare off the screen is serious. And now I can't read. We got to come up with a turnkey solution here. It's got a way. I mean, VeChain's got a ways to go for me. I mean, looking at the 200 and 100 simple moving average, those areas are often interesting. And unless we rebound and close back above the 55, I'm good on VeChain right now, man. Had a nice run, and ain't buying season. Buy the next breakout, or you can trade this range if we trade this range for a while. Too early to tell. We're below any level of baseline that I would have liked to buy for the range. The 55 would have been that one. Often where we find support. Now, it's possible that the pronounced bearishness of today's Bitcoin movement is exaggerating movements, but let's wait for it to get back above the 55 before we start talking about trading a range or anything. Other than that, you can look around down here, but don't kill tops and bottoms. Tony Clark, good stream, bro. Appreciate your time. Thank you very much, my sir. Ken wants to take a look at HL. Take a look at HL, man. Hopefully the New York's good enough for you. On the daily. Ooh, this is nice. Baseline. There's. Right. Yeah, you can see. Right here. This candle. Right here on this candle is where I would have gotten in if I were trading this. Long signal from Minx. long signal from CCI, and long signal from my VF right there. Of the baseline, and off to the races we go out here, and maybe take the re-entry on the WADA powerful signal, but definitely right here, and I'd be back in this right now. Do I think you should look for re-entry right now? I honestly don't. Zooming out a little bit, let's look at supply and demand, see if we can get some discretion here. Yeah, man. I hate taking trades entering into low volume nodes. Not only are we coming up to the 70% value area resistance, but also into low volume nodes is often where stop losses occur, like where market tops and bottoms are formed. So I would stay away from HL. If you were in HL, I would begin to, this is where I would make the trade a no loss trade. I'd scale out some profit and move that stop loss to break even, maybe even trail it. Because again, we are approaching that upper value area and that low volume node. So depending on how much data you want to take in, it can affect the percentage to it. But again, we can see no matter where you look at the chart, this low volume node area right here and these local highs. So good pump up to it, but definitely a good area to scale some profit out. And if it runs, great. If it reverses right here as it's done multiple times before, then you're protected. But not an entry opportunity. Not an entry opportunity for me. We can look for reversal baseline bounces currently at $3.02. And barring that, closure below there is going to bring us back to our EMAs. Of course, we have the tertiary sitting at around 269 and our 55 at 240. And we can largely ignore everything below that right now. Justin, what drives price more on a daily basis? Futures exchanges or spot exchanges? Well, I mean, it depends. If it is market manipulation, then it would be futures. On a regular basis, it's spot. It's spot on almost every single daily basis. Spot drives price, futures responds. But the way that the industry is set up, there's more volume being actively traded on derivatives. So corresponding movements on the futures market are going to result in corresponding movements in the spot market and vice versa. But I would put the burden on spot. What do I think? Common Man Crypto says, what do I think of 5.7K roughly as a downside target? The 618 logarithmic retrace relative to the 2019 bull trend would make sense. Also would line up with the 200 weekly exponential moving average. Those are fine. Those aren't the factors that I like to use. It's a little bit more simply for me. 5.7 is, again, around in between 6.4 and 4.9, which are the most relevant areas of the chart based off volume. So I would look at those areas. Would that area represent a bounce? Yes, I'm sure a lot of traders are going to be looking at the fib retracements, and I'm sure a lot of traders are going to be looking at the weekly moving averages as well. Yes. Being honest with what I think, it's not an area that I would trade because I don't do that type of analysis. But it's definitely there. Why are there so many coins? Just so people can choose from, or do they have different functionality? I mean, ideally, every coin would have slightly different functionality. Just depends. I mean, there's a lot of coins that are very similar to each other, but every coin has its own unique code to some degree. BNB looks juicy at this level. BNB is a good coin, man. Would it be best to hold even if you have $70 in Bitcoin? I think if you have something like $70 in Bitcoin, then yeah, you just want to begin building that discipline as a long-term investor. You don't want to be trading with, $70. Although you absolutely can. So, I've talked about this before. You guys can go check out all my videos on hedging. Check out the Trading Crypto 101 playlist. Check out the Breaking Bitcoin's Bits playlist. I talk about these things all the time. If you're holding Bitcoin and you want to protect yourself, you protect yourself with futures. You open up a short sell, and you have no risk from that, right? Well, let me rephrase that. There's no such thing as no risk. You have very little risk from that. Okay. If price pumps like 100, does a 2x overnight, possibly you could lose a substantial sum of money. The odds of that are quite slim. Bitcoin's never done that. So So I think that the downside, the upside is far higher than the downside, because the upside is you get to earn BTC on the way down, meaning that when you decide to pull off your short hedge, you have more BTC. You have the same amount of dollars. You have the same dollar value of Bitcoin. So if you got $100 in Bitcoin now and you put on a short hedge, whenever you pull your short hedge off, you'll have $100 of the Bitcoin, but it'll be more Bitcoin. And then when price goes up, you'll have more money than you would have. You would have just sold them, and you get the point. So it's just like selling high and buying back low, but often people screw that up because that's a spot trade and execution, and people generally just don't have the chutzpah after they've seen price drop to actually buy at the opportune moment. So I do not think that it's best to just hold Bitcoin blindly. I think that it's best to hold Bitcoin as an investment if you have decided to invest in Bitcoin. Like, I am a long-term investor in Bitcoin. I accumulated my Bitcoin in March of 2016 and then over the course of 2016. So I'm up on that quite a bit. I will not sell that Bitcoin. I don't trade that Bitcoin. That was my original investment. I now have a trading account that I manage very actively every single day. And that's how I pay my bills. But as far as the Bitcoin that I hold as a long-term investment, I don't hedge that. I don't sell it. I don't do it. I just bought it. It just sits in cold storage, and that's it. I'll never touch it. I don't care what Bitcoin does. It can go to zero. Oh well, I lost that investment. Same with my dividend portfolio. The same with the REITs that I own. The same with the real estate investments that I have. The same with the index funds that I own. Like, they're an investment. You hold them 20, 30, 50, 60 years. You pass them on to your kids. My goal with all of this. How low can we go on BTC? 4,900. We could potentially go to zero, my friend. Monk, I did see your tweet, man. I'm sorry that I didn't get a chance to respond to you, but thank you so much, man. I appreciate the love. Ken D put in a limit sell for HL 2 cents higher than it's trading, or 1 cent below the session high. Half my position. Good, my man. What are the max positions that I would hold at one time with 2% max per trade? 10. Yeah, if you've been buying $10 at a time, I think it's a good opportunity. It sounds to me like that's a better opportunity for you to build that investment mentality, that investment mindset. You know, go set up that auto pay, you know, on Coinbase app. It's a good recommendation for you guys. Go set up that auto pay. Jonathan says, does anyone know a way to move money from a retirement fund into an exchange for investment without taking the cash out penalty? Doesn't exist. Absolutely impossible. What you can do is you can move one retirement fund into a self-directed Roth IRA. You could do that, and you could self-direct. One way to do it, but you can't move it. So that is technically a way to do it. So you can move it to a self-directed Roth IRA, or you can move it to a self-directed retirement fund. You're going to want, listen, honestly, there's a lot of information online. I'm not an expert in this. I would recommend you get an attorney to help you out with it. It's worth it, especially if you have a substantial sum there. Yeah, you actively, I mean, you can transfer with no fee into a Bitcoin IRA, and there's turnkey companies that do that. I think that you're better off, though, most likely, if you have the time to sit down and kind of map out the retirements that you want, go self-directed, man. So yeah, so turnkey solution. Can I just take money out of my retirement fund, put it into an exchange, and manage my investment like that? No, you have to go through. You have to move to another investment vehicle of an IRA or a Roth, and then take action from there. I'm gonna buy 100 Litecoin real quick, but I'm not sure. Well, you won't get no answer from me, man. That's a personal decision for you, brother. Yeah, faith in the trade. Place the trade within your risk. And if 100 Litecoin is your risk level, make sure you have a stop loss set. Make sure you have a level where you will take profit. Move your stop loss to break even, and make sure that you're not going excessively high just because you see what seems to be an attractive buying opportunity. Those are often the worst trades that we make, you know. All right, guys, it is 2:01. And you know what that means. Thank you guys so much for joining me for another exciting episode of Breaking Bitcoin. You know, I'm really happy, guys. Honestly, I've had my short open for a long time, and it's really just beautiful that we could catch another great movement together. Thank you guys for being here and sharing your time with me. I really appreciate it. You guys are absolutely amazing. We have the best audience on the interwebs. If you guys would like to see some of these results for yourself, if you would like to begin a journey of consistently profitable trading, if you would like to work with a team that deals in the realm of probability and actual statistical historical backtesting results and live trading, then please check out what we're doing in the group. You can join us. You can sign up at premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com to trade with us, receive mentorship, have access to our tools, learn our rules, trade with the best guys. All right. Now, if you guys like amazing crypto informational podcasts, then I highly recommend you check out our podcast at breakingbitcoin.money. Scott spent sleepless days and nights getting that thing together. It is available at breakingbitcoin.crackingcryptocurrency.com, or you can just go to breakingbitcoin.money, breakingbitcoin.money. Right now, Google Music, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, Podbean, iTunes, it's all there. iHeartRadio, I think it's up there as well. If you have a favorite podcatcher you'd like us to add it to, get a hold of us in the Discord, and we will add it. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, sarcastic remarks, or death threats, leave a comment down below, and I will do my best to get back to you within the next 24 to 48 hours. If you guys would like to participate in tomorrow's crypto comment giveaway, where we give away crypto, you can either go over to DLIVE, follow us over there because we give lemons away every single day, or you can leave a comment down below what you think the opening price of Bitcoin will be at the show tomorrow. So we start the show at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. Please tell us what you think price will be at the beginning of the show. You do have to have your answer in by the daily candle close tonight, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's midnight UTC time, the beginning of tomorrow. Okay? All right, guys. I've been Justin Wise for Cracking Cryptocurrency. Thank you guys so much. Make sure to leave the video a thumbs up if you haven't already. And I will see you guys tomorrow at noon, same time, same crypto network, same, mediocre face. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Trade safely.